with an E, a love that lingers. I fell in love with this show. It genuinely warms my heart, and years later, I'm still not over the cancellation of this masterpiece. But what is it that I love so much? The escape it offers. N with an E is a simple yet deeply immersive show. It doesn't rely on flashy effect, over-dramatic visual to engage viewers. Instead, it builds a rich, textured atmosphere that draws you into its world. One of the show's standout feature is its cinematography and color grading, which set its tone beautifully. The muted, warm palette creates a sense of nostalgia and calm, while the natural lighting makes the 19th century setting feel authentic. Sweeping shots of Prince Edward's Island, meadows, forests, and seascapes turn every frame into a visual treat, capturing the charm of a simpler life. This transformative quality is further enhanced by the show's music and sound design. The delicate, often melancholic score intertwines with the visuals, amplifying the emotional resonance of each scene. As composer Ludovico Einaudi once said, music can touch dimensions that words also cannot. The combination of music, cinematography, and careful attention to detail creates a sensory experience that feels timeless and emotionally rich. Together, these choices weave an atmosphere that viewers can not only see and hear, but feel, a sensory fabric that grounds the story and allows the audience to connect with its world on a deeply personal level. The writing. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, screenwriter and producer Moira Walley-Beckett shared, "I read the book when I was young, and I just devoured the first book. I think I read it several times in a row, and then moved on to the rest of the series. I was captivated by Anne. I totally related to her. I was so awkward, and I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. And it's like she gives one permission to be an oddball, and to be unique, and to be passionate and different." This perfectly encapsulates how I've always felt about Anne as well. She is a vibrant, a deeply layered character whose enthusiastic imagination and passionate nature are both her greatest strength and her most frequent source of conflict. One poignant moment in the series is an arrival at Green Gables. The scene where Masiyoo first meets Anne is a standout moment because it captures many facets of her personality, her optimism, liveliness, introspection, and even her ability to overwhelm. Anne's quirks and passion make her the heart of the show, and her personal growth forms the most complete arc. She is so unapologetically herself that it becomes contagious. You can't help but want to embrace the same fearless authenticity. Over time, you come to see the layers. Her boundless optimism and dream-filled chatter often mask her fears of rejection and the scar left by her past trauma. This duality sets the tone for her journey throughout the show. While Anne's journey is at the heart of the show, the supporting characters are far from static. Each is giving depth, making them relatable and human. For instance, Marilla's gradual softening towards Anne demonstrates her struggle to reconcile her pragmatic nature with the newfound feelings of tenderness and love. This development fosters an emotional connection with the audience. When the characters celebrate, we rejoice. When they face hardship, we grieve alongside them. The show doesn't shy away from tackling difficult themes, elevating its storytelling beyond a traditional coming-of-age narrative. Issues like bullying, prejudice, classism, and the trauma of Anne's orphan past are explored with honesty and sensitivity. For instance, Anne's flashback to her abusive upbringing give context to her unrelenting optimism. It's a survival mechanism that makes her triumphs all the more moving. Similarly, the series addresses systematic issues such as the treatment of indigenous communities through the storyline of Coquette, a girl forcibly taken to a residential school. These heavier topics add emotional weight and make the show resonate with audiences of all ages. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to see the end of her story. I think it's something that really hurt the message, but it was not in the end of the team. As Walley-Beckett explains, and then as we did in Breaking Bad and as we did in Flesh and Blood, we asked the question, what if? And let the characters tell the story and let the characters' emotion and experiences become plot. This approach gives the narrative its depth and authenticity. By allowing the characters' emotion to drive the show portrays life in its complexity, its highs and lows, its joys and sorrows. Even when the story delves into sadness or loss, it carries the audience through it, making the moments of healings and triumphs furthermore satisfying. This willingness to explore the full range of human experiences ensures the show resonates deeply with the viewers, young and old. As Walley-Beckett further reflects, I wanted to dramatize it. I wanted it to feel visceral. I wanted you to know exactly what her origin story was, so that we could really understand her original wounding and the stakes that were at play for her. By embracing Anne's struggles and growth, the show captures the beauty of resilience and the transformative power of love, community, and self-acceptance. It's this emotional authenticity that makes Anne with an E an unforgettable experience. How I love to be a woman. This show feels like a celebration of girlhood, a tribute to the transformative experience of growing up as a young woman while navigating societal expectation and limitations. Watching Anne, Diane, and the other girls grow up while dealing with the grounded, relatable challenges is both moving and empowering. They face serious issues, but are also given moments to embrace their joy, independence, and self-discovery. They get to be children. A perfect example is the iconic scene where Ruby Gillis exclaims,
"How I love being a woman!"
In that moment, the girls are outdoor, laughing and indulging in their budding femininity, revealing in their wild, carefree connection to one another. However, the show doesn't stop at celebrating girlhood. It also examines the expectation and limitation placed on women at the time. Characters like Anne, Diana, Miss Stacy, and even the happy runaway bride, Mary, each grapple with societal constraint while taking agency over their lives. Anne dreams of a future beyond traditional gender roles, advocating for education and independence. Diana, despite pressure to conform, begins to question the narrow path laid out for her, seeking more than a marriage and societal approval. Miss Stacy, with her unconventional lifestyle, exemplifies what it means to defy expectation, showing the girls that living authentically is possible. Mary, the runaway bride, takes one of the boldest steps of all, refusing a marriage that doesn't align with her happiness. These women and girls don't just fight for themselves, they push forward with the hope of changing their world for the better. Anne drives to educate herself and others. Diana's growing courage to pursue her passion, and Miss Stacy's quiet rebellion all reflects a determination to shape a more equitable future. Through their action, the show illustrates the dynamic of systematic inequality while highlighting how solidarity and resilience can create meaningful change. Girlhood and womanhood, often dismissed in the media as superficial, inconsequential, are given weight and depth here. The show reminds us that these experiences are complex, filled with struggles and triumphs that connect women across generations. It's not just about overcoming limitations, it's about creating a world where the next generation can thrive, both for themselves and the greater good. Anne with an E is a show I hold close to my heart. It feels less like a show and more like a world that you can step into. Even years after it ended, a part of me still hoped for its return. An idealistic dream. How very end of me.